You may find that you have hips that hurt, and if you have a waddling gait and you waddle like this, or if your feet turn in when you waddle like this, or if they turn out when you waddle like this, and also if you waddle and you lean to one side, then you have a biomechanical issue with your feet, your legs, and your hips, and most probably with your back. And this most likely causes pain, and also it's going to be energy deficient, so you're going to be using a lot of energy to get about. Now, unfortunately, most likely you're going to have to nag your GP. We all love doing that, don't we? Till we go blue in the face. You're going to have to nag your GP for a referral to a specialist. And depending on your age and what the problem is, you may need surgery. However, you will most likely have to jump through the hoops of doing physio first, then for them to do an x-ray, then to see exactly what's wrong, and then to weigh up the pros and cons of whether you need surgery or not to correct what's wrong. In an ideal world, if you can pay for it and you're young, so you're like under 20, you're better off getting the surgery done to correct whatever's wrong. And it can be one of several things. It can be that your hips have been, since birth, too far set inwards, too far set outwards. You may have shallow sockets in your hips, and so your hips are coming dislocated. So you've adopted over time a strange way of walking, like me, just to get down. Or you may have one leg slightly shorter than the other. That might be why you're leaning to the side and why you're getting back pain and why you've got uneven shoulders, or you're leaning that way. Anyway, you will see a difference in your feet as well. One of your feet will be turned in, and you'll get a lot of problems in one of your knees. With that being said, some exercises can help relieve the pain that you're going through whilst you're going through the process of weighing up the pros and cons of surgery or not. If it's a leg that's slightly shorter than the other, you can wear a little heel wedge in your shoe. Some children are advised to do intense physio to try and strengthen the opposing muscle of whichever side is turned in or out on the hips. So if your hips or your femur, the angle of your femur is too much turned in and you're waddling like a duck with your feet turned in like that, you need to strengthen your glutes. And that's a case of feet out slightly, probably like a penguin, I would imagine, bent slightly, and you want to work those opposing muscles, the outside muscles, to encourage the legs to be more outward. If it's a case that your legs are actually pointing that way, you want to work on strengthening the opposite muscle of that, which is your thigh muscles. And the way we do that is better off in the gym, to be honest. But you want to turn the legs slightly in, and then you work in the opposite muscle like that, which is quite hard to do it with both feet because your hips are going to hurt. So you're better off doing it with one, and then you work that inner thigh muscle. If you can get to a gym, I can't remember the name of the machine, but the machine where you have to put the pad either there or there and train the inner thigh muscles to make sure that they're stronger than the outside and they're pulling your legs from here this way as you grow. It works better in children because they're still growing. If you're an adult, you most likely need surgery, unfortunately. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just the way it is. And that's most likely where I am at the moment. But anyway, there you go.